Hey, what's up? How we doing tonight? Woo! Best part of my week when I get to come up here. TG motherfucking IF. How are we? I already asked that shit. You know when you get too high and you forget what you're talking about? You guys know. You guys know what I'm on. Alrighty, let's fucking get into this. I was thinking they make so many like just remakes of stuff where it's not even a new idea. It's just diversity pandering, and they just put 10 new people in the same exact idea. So I was thinking like, what if just to save money, like instead of redoing Rent and Lion King as separate musicals, they just did a twofer and just combined them. They could do like Gay Lion King. Like Mufasa like walks out his son or whatever, and he's like, "Look out onto these plains, my son. Everything here is good. Don't go over there though. They do gay shit." Oh man. Yeah. Probably a little politically incorrect for this crowd. Nobody kill me in the parking lot after this. Because the thing about Florida is people are woke and they have guns, so it's a catch-22, 22 caliber parking lot. Yeah. No, I haven't actually had that happen to me yet, but one of my friends is into S&M, and I think that if he ever gets beat up after he does a show, the joke's on them. He'll probably just come in his pants. He'll be like, "I just skipped a visit to the club." They're just beating him mercilessly. He's like, "Thank you." Oh man, I think it'd be funny if people didn't know the difference between S&M and BDS, like the boycotting Israel movement. Like, yeah, we're trying to use S&M to stop Israel. Yeah. Let's see. We got any Metallica fans? No one likes Metallica, really? All right. I fuck with Metallica. I love that song, Ride the Lightning. I think I'm going to start asking ladies when they come back to the crib if they want to ride the lightning. No, that probably won't work out good, because I feel like no one, as is evidenced by this, no one listens to Metallica anymore, I guess. Just go right over her head, probably. Good reference. Yeah, let's see. Oh yeah, so I think the Scottish just invented golf as a way for the men to get away from their wives that they're upset at. They're like, "Can we come up with a game where we don't have to talk to the women for quite a while? And a way we can drink, too." And then someone else raises their hand in the pitch meeting. They're like, "Is there a way we can exclude Jews also?" And they're like, "Of course, it's Scotland." Yeah, golf was brilliant. Let's see, I got IBS. We got anybody with stomach illnesses? Statistically, we got some liars in here. Someone else has it. It's like 1 or 2% of the general population, I think, according to WebMD. Anyway, IBS is fun. You just go to the bathroom too much. It's kind of like being Pete Davidson. Like, you got the stomach thing, except I'm not famous. So it's pretty much only the cons. Pretty much all Jews like me, we've got some type of stomach illness. And people will be like, "Why?" And it's like, well, because Europeans, the Christians put Jews into these shtetls, these villages. And so Jews ended up being kind of like rural southern inbred, but like in Poland, Because you weren't allowed to marry non-Jews. Like the Christians wouldn't let you. So you had to marry like your Jewish cousin. And that happened like 100 times. And that's how you become lactose intolerant. That's where that comes from. Yeah. Man, we got a full house tonight. I like that. Last time I was in here, it was pretty empty. I think maybe people were outside or something. Hell yeah. This place is a vibe. Like, fuck with the lighting. I wonder who does the painting and shit. That's awesome to look at. You ever just look at a painting for like an hour when you're high? Just completely lose track of time. You're like, "Oh shit, I had stuff to do." Weed is like that sometimes, man. I think, weed has definitely increased in potency. It was like 2% in the 90s. Now it's like 1,000% THC. Yeah. You take like a quarter bite of an edible and you're seeing dolphins. You're like, I wanted edibles, not acid. My dad, he used to smoke. He can't anymore because the weed has gotten too strong. He immediately gets paranoid every single time. Every time. It's great. I don't know if I feel like I don't know. I wish there was a way. He needs it more than me. If he could relax, it would be really good. But it just has the opposite effect. It's very counterintuitive. I feel like that's happened a lot to me in my life, like anecdotally. A lot of times people who need to smoke the most weed, like hate weed. Y'all know anybody who's like mad anxious and just needs to hit a blunt? They're like, no, I've never tried it. Oh man, just do it. It'll make your whole life better. Just smoke some weed. Life is too short. We're all gonna fucking die. Might as well get fucking high, right? Hell yeah. So I work in the special needs industry. I take care of a lot of special needs people, and a lot of them are very religious, specifically Christian. And one of them would call me, he'd refer to me as his brother in Christ, and I had to let him down and just, softly be like, look, unfortunately I'm not your brother in Christ. Like, I'm sorry to let you down. He was like, you betrayed me! I'm like, ah, shit, I've heard this one before. The Jews can't win. I feel like every major Jewish holiday is basically like, they tried to kill us, we lived, now let's eat. One thing, you guys ever have to watch VeggieTales when you had a substitute teacher? That show is whack. Like, who pitched that? They should be fired. Think about it for a minute. You got Torah, the Bible or whatever, and vegetables. Like, that's what kids are into. Great idea. They're gonna love that shit. The other one I was thinking about is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like, you can really see... Well, actually, if you look a decade before Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I love the evolution of drug use in cartoons. Like, you got The Hobbit or whatever in the 60s, and that's clearly, like, they're on acid. That's influencing how they're, coloring. Then you get to, like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and you can tell cocaine just took over. Like, they got into that boardroom, they're like, there's 4 of them? They're brothers? And they fight crime in the sewers. Like, that is the most coke-brained idea ever. Who's in charge of them? A rat who also knows kung fu. That shit is so funny. And then their bestie is like just some white girl who also fucks all the turtles. Like, what's that about? Like, no one ever calls her on that shit. I don't know. I'm always waiting for that episode when like animal control takes away the turtles and then locks her up for, interspecies crimes. Yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, a little while back, Dave Chappelle was being transphobic, and I think that was pretty fucked up, and I think that maybe the reason he was worried about it is he was probably worried that, like, people might get bottom surgery, and they might end up with a bigger penis than him, and so he was probably just really insecure about that. Oh, man. Yeah, anyway, let's see, what do we got? Oh yeah, Billy Joel's kind of interesting. He's got that song Tiny Dancer. Like, why is she tiny? What's that about? It should be like called Normal Size Dancer. What was he on, Epstein's Island or something? What aren't you telling us, Billy? Also, what grown man goes by the name Billy? Like, he's up to something. Yeah. Oh yeah, I fuck with The Sopranos a lot. I think that's like my favorite TV show probably. I was thinking, what would Tony think about, furries and trans people? He'd probably be pretty shocked at the world we live in today. He'd be all like, oh, don't get your fucking gender fluids on me, pal. I'm in the union. Only shit that gets into me is a large sandwich and some gabagool. I like, what if you got Kamala Harris running for president? What if he thinks his wife, Carmela Soprano, is actually Kamala Harris? They're like, oh, I'm tired of you running for president, Kamala. She's like, Tony, that's the other one. Shit. Let's see. Oh yeah, I feel like you don't actually need to know languages if you travel. You can just kind of imitate what people are like. Like, you can go up to Japan and just be like I spent a month in Japan and I was just like, oh! Everyone was like, damn, that foreigner is fluent. Headed down to Mexico, I was like, ¿qué? They were like, this gringo, man, his Spanish is great. Went down to, I went to Italy, and I was like, I was like, oh! And they were like, shit, this guy is fluent in Italian. He shops so much, he can speak Italian. Yeah, therapy is kind of interesting, you know? Like, you know, as a dumb Jew, I feel resentful of my smart Jewish therapist for just taking so much of my hard-earned money. You know, I wonder if therapy is just a racket for the Jews. I don't think I'm getting as much out of it as my therapist. But what if Jesus went to therapy? You know, do you think Jesus was in therapy? Maybe he was paranoid. His therapist was like, "Tell me, Jesus, are you paranoid?" He's like, "Yeah, the other day I had a dinner and I was looking around at the people. I'm like, I think one of you is gonna betray me." Yeah. Anyway, so that's my time. My name's Jacob Englander. Look me up. Tip your Kava tenders. Thank you.
Thank you so much.